Free Speak doesn't like me.
Free Speak doesn't like you?
Well, they're having issues. They're not going to be ready till Tuesday or something.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, Elliot, you're good.
Welcome, Nerds fans, to the latest S&M production of the Sunday Night Sports Nerd Show. It is the most absurd 90 minutes of anything goes, smack talk, and a whole lot more. Every Sunday night, the Sports Nerd joins forces with his maniac co-host, whom are a select group of sports nerds with attitude that are known in the Nerd Nation as the Rant Pack. These are four of the most foul-mouthed, shit-talking nerds, spitting some sick rips and rants, just enough to make you piss your pants. So listen up, Nerd Nation. Rise and welcome the legend himself. He is the founder, he is the host, and he is the star of the Sports Nerd Show. Coming to you live, straight out of Lakeland, Florida, Scott, the Sports Nerd. Right.
Thank you for that, Elliot. I like that more and more every week, brother. I really do. Gentlemen, welcome to another Sunday night. What's that?
Time to get the juices flowing.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't it? Well, we're down another guy, down Bob again this week. He's on vacation with the family, but we do have Elliot, John, and Kenny here with us this week. Gentlemen, we got live sports going on, but there's still a lot of drama going on as well.
Yeah, no surprise guest tonight either. Sorry.
Yeah, no surprise guest tonight. Sorry about that. But baseball we got to see some exhibition baseball between two different teams as opposed to the same team yesterday. So that's a beginning. Live golf, of course. And now there comes the drama of the NFL.
Oh, God.
Okay. They've had months to prepare to get a game plan together and have all the security and the health issues put in place, the safety stuff. Here we are 10 days away from training camp opening up, and they still don't know what the hell's going on. The players have no idea.
There will be no football.
It's starting to look that way.
Hey, guys, I'm already convinced that this year, if we play fantasy sports, it's going to be a free league because we don't know what the hell is going to happen during this season.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get guys that test positive, they'll be out for 2 weeks. You can't count on them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just going to be a mess if they wind up starting at all. So I'm ready to scrap fantasy or just play freely. You know what I'm saying?
I think it bears mentioning that the Philadelphia Eagles will not be playing before any fans this year. They've already decided that the link will be off limit.
Yep.
So
and this year we'll be the NFL, the no fee league.
Right. Yeah.
No fans league.
Yeah, exactly. But
then.
Oh, he's got his Maple Leafs ever since I told him they're favored to win the cup.
Wait, here. Let's have a double.
Here it comes.
There we go. Let's have a double dose of Toronto sports propaganda.
Speaking of Toronto, how about Canada banning Toronto from playing games at home?
Hey, man. Whatever.
I don't blame them.
We don't want to do that whole cross-border thing, man.
Because they don't want Americans in Canada. I don't know why,
No
That's all it
offense.
is. They don't want them in Europe either.
Yeah, right?
You guys figure out whatever you got to figure out in your country. We'll just sit here. We're okay.
Look, we're
good.
We're starting to get lumped in with India and Brazil, dude. That shit ain't good.
Yeah. Well, now the city of Toronto okayed it. Ontario okayed it, but then the federal government came in and said no.
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 Not until that Oompa Loompa gets his shit together.
So it's so they're thinking about the Buffalo Bisons have a field.
Yep, no problem. Play there. I love Buffalo.
Where are they gonna play?
Buffalo
Bisons and then
minor league team.
Okay, so they're gonna play in their state. Well, there's no fans anyway, so it don't fucking matter.
Yeah, or they may stay in Fort Myers and play in Fort Myers where they're
Dunedin.
Hey, why don't they just play? Why don't they just split time with the freaking Tampa Rays down in Tampa?
Yeah, so they've also got plans to maybe play in Dunedin, but they won't be playing at the Rogers Center.
Just
I have a question for you, John.
Hey, they
Sorry?
fixed the stadium in Edmonton yet? I know. I heard it.
yeah, man, just little here and there.
Little leakage.
Little leakage. That's
The,
typical in Canada. I remember when I was leaving Toronto to move out west, 15 years ago, and I thought, I'm going to go to a Jays game. Last Jays game, while I'm still living in Toronto, what happens? The Sky Dome roof fell in. So
I remember that.
Now, I'll
and
tell you
it
something.
happened in Montreal all the time at the O. Like
That
all the
usually
time.
only happens when you go to church once in a while.
Not for John, but guys like us.
Greatest show we've ever had at the Sky Dome was I can't remember who the Blue Jays were playing, but they panned the camera on the Hard Rock Hotel there. And these couples having sex in the middle of the game. There's as many people watching them as they are the game.
You gotta love Canada.
We're an interesting bunch up here.
You had a question for John there, Kenny?
Yeah. Are all the NHL teams already up in Canada right now, getting ready?
I don't know if they're all up here, but it's pretty close. I mean, I think
I'm
they're
kind of wondering. I mean, with
Yeah.
the ban on Americans coming up to Canada, what happens to the American players that are playing on U.S. teams? I mean,
Well, I think
that not
you
apply to
can.
them?
They closed the border for everyday Joes like you
Mhm.
and me, but you can still go across the border if you've got business.
Essential travel only.
Okay.
Essential travel,
Okay.
right? So they're just
Okay.
they're gonna ship everybody up and put them in the bubbles and keep them in
Right,
the cities,
right.
and then
Okay.
go party in Edmonton.
Yep.
Party like a rock star in
Okay.
Edmonton, buddy.
That's what I wanted.
You have no
And
idea.
once again, the Blue Jays are the butt end of the joke.
Dude, I'm okay with it. I thought it was a good decision by Ottawa.
No, it is. It's
You know,
the
it's-
only decision they can make.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Because MLB is the only one that are traveling, going to be traveling to other cities, whereas the NHL is going to be in 2 cities, and there's no travel going on, so they're going to be in that bubble just like the NBA is.
Yep.
So,
You know what I found crazy? I saw the spring training game between the Yankees and Mets.
How about
Half
just
the
calling the
guys are in
bingo
the
long
dugout.
traveling Blue Jays?
yeah,
Half the guys are in the dugout, and the other half are sitting in the stands behind
Yes.
the dugout.
yes,
All
correct.
distancing and all with
Yes.
masks.
Yes,
Clint Frazier, I don't know if you guys know him from the
Yes.
Yankees. He said he's wearing a mask
Heard.
on the field, off the field, don't
Yeah.
matter where it is.
yeah. And he hit a home run with the mask on last night too. So
He went in the second deck up
yeah,
the other night.
he had a bomb.
Oh, well,
Yep.
speaking of bombs, what happened to the crowd at NASCAR today?
I don't know what happened to NASCAR today. What happened?
Well, they opened it
there
up
was-
for 50,000
There were a few
fans.
people there. It was about, I think
They
they
opened it up for
sold about,
50,000 fans, and only like a couple of hundred showed up.
Oh Jesus!
yeah, I think it was about 5,000.
Okay,
Buddy of mine went
5,000.
and just took his
That's
time.
Texas Motor Speedway, right?
Right, yeah.
So it was similar to
I don't
the.
have- I don't
It
have
was
NBCSN, so I didn't get to do the race, but
it was similar to
saw
the
it on-
Trump
on the
event
news,
in Oklahoma.
Okay.
it looked like
It
about
fell
5,000
short.
people in the stand.
Yeah. Oh man,
It's exciting.
it's
That's, you know what? That just goes to show you, it don't matter sports, schools, reopening. Doesn't matter, dude. If people don't want to go, they're not going to show up.
Yeah.
All right.
And Clarky says
Yogi
the Bruins have 9
Yogi
players.
Berra was right. If people don't want to come, who's going to stop them?
Well, my question, Clarky, with yours, what you said is that mean they have COVID, or are they just not participating because of other reasons? That's my question.
Oh, it's COVID.
Yeah.
It's always COVID. Everything. Someone stubs their toe now, it's COVID.
It's like my son here in his school. They're offering online only. They give 3 options. One of them is online only.
Yeah.
How many people do you think are going to choose the online only option? There are going to be very few kids in that school, which is fine because they'll have plenty of
Yeah.
practice at social distancing.
Yeah. That's the idea to open up schools at this point is a bad idea. Eliana's in house, and she's only 10 minutes late this time, so we'll give her a pass.
Hi.
Eliana.
What's your story, John?
Well, I told you guys this last week, but I guess Jen wasn't paying attention, so we'll have to go over the story again about
Yes.
the mug.
Yes. Yeah. With the mug in your hand. Go ahead.
The mug is actually my grandfather's, and it's one of the last gifts I ever gave him before he passed away. And we're drinking it in his honor. That's the story. I wish there was more to it. Like I wish there was like some. It was just one of the last gifts I gave him before he passed away.
Oh, okay.
No. I was trying to get him. I got a few buddies that work in Toronto, like really close with the Jays and the Leafs. And I was trying to get them to do something special for my grandfather for his 100th birthday.
Yeah.
Like, send him like a little video greeting or something. But, you got to be apparently the Pope to get an audience with Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have any love for the ownership either, so that's probably another reason.
Listen, the Raptors got a championship because they put the right pieces in place, right? And they got Masai there calling the shots, and he swung for the fences.
And they spent some money.
Right? They gave up DeRozan, a first-round pick, and Pirtle for a rental. The rental was Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green.
Yeah.
But it turned into an NBA title.
Won an NBA title. I'll take that trade all day, every day.
Right.
So this is the difference, and this is why I think the Yankees are always successful, and even the Red Sox, because they spend the damn money. Now I get it, big market, little market, but it's capitalism, man.
Yeah, Toronto's not really small.
But you know what? The Marlins blew that fucking theory out of the water a couple times, dude.
Yeah, they spent big one year and the Indians, by the way.
Well, yeah, but you got to have the right guys in place calling the shots.
That's what I'm saying. But it doesn't take a lot of money to do it. You just got to, not just the right guys, but you have to have the right focus and vision and get everybody to buy into it all at once. When you're playing with non-marquee players.
And then immediately followed it with fire sale.
Yeah.
And that's what kills me about the Jays, because the Jays were there. They had those 2 runs when they made it to the ALCS, and it was great. Right. There was absolutely no reason in the world to blow it up, but they did. And it was stupidity. It was Rogers, the dumbass company that owns it, saying, oh, you know what? We only make $2 billion a year. Let's just cut costs a little bit here. But how much they were right there, dude. You saw it with KC. The only difference is KC actually won a championship.
Yes.
But the next year, they shit the bed, man. Everybody was gone. Like, it was just, and this is what the Jays did. It blew my mind. It was like the first sign is when they didn't sign Edwin back.
Right.
And then it was the deal with Jose. They were drama with Jose, and they never gave him his due.
Correct.
And then it was freaking Josh. They treated Josh like a second-hand citizen. Like, it's only Josh Donaldson, a reigning MVP.
But the originators of the drilling game plan were the Marlins.
Yeah, 97.
You know what I'm saying?
All the way back in 97.
And then they had a fire sale the next year.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
did it again in 2003. 2004 they had a fire sale.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I'm so
is that once
bitter.
they win a championship,
hey,
they can't afford to pay those players to play on a championship team in their city.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So they got to move them on.
But KC was such a good story.
It was a great story.
It was a great
they beat the Indians to get there, for goodness sake. I mean, it was a great story.
They beat the Jays, too. That was fun.
Yeah. No.
Who had the winning hit in that game? Wasn't it Craig Counsell?
Yes.
Why are you poking the bear, Elliot? Stop doing that.
Because the bear is pokeable.
Oh, God, I hate the Yankees. Anyway. Well, I mean, I don't understand why the NFL's been dragging their heels. I don't get it.
Because they don't believe a season can happen under the circumstances.
I mean,
they're not confident that they can put any plan together.
But you know what? The other side of that is they've already put notifications out that players must report on their dates. Players are going to have rookies and other players that are supposed to report actually tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. And then all the veterans and the rest of the team are supposed to report the 29th.
Correct. And upon their return, they're going to get tested.
They haven't said that's not going to happen. I don't understand. They've had months to look at what the NBA's doing, what FIFA's done, what the Premier League has done, what the Major League Baseball is doing, what NHL is doing. They've got so many examples of how to run this, but they haven't done any of it. Hey, Army's in the house. What's up, Army?
You got to remember too that the NFL roster is over 50 guys, right?
Right. So I mean, but
that's a lot more players on a field than a baseball.
Yeah, I understand that, Elliot, but still, they can still put safety protocols in place. They can put, all those things in place, and how they're going to, as far as testing and what happens if you get tested positive, all that stuff. But they haven't done any of that. None of it.
See, here's the thing: once they return, guess what? All these players are going to get tested when they report. Who knows how many positive tests are going to come from that? That's going to force them.
Yeah.
To make a decision about the upcoming season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not easy because you can't put the NFL in a bubble either.
No, you can't.
You see what I'm saying? And soccer, those are big stadiums, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? Do you think that they're trying to put
the over under at 30?
30 what? Days?
30 players testing positive.
Yeah, I would say it'd probably be an average of about 5 per team.
That's the over-under.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 150 guys testing, having the coronavirus.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't really put together a fluid and solid program like the NFL with those kind of inconsistencies and mysteries awaiting you. It's just too much. And I think they know that, which is why they're dragging their heels.
Yeah. I mean, they've talked about special helmets with special face guards on them.
Right.
That they
shield,
have
face shield.
Face shields to minimize the possibility of getting infected, cross-contamination as far as – because you're going to have 22 guys butting heads, for 60 plays a game. So, it's something needs to be done.
Will they be able to see through them is the question.
Yes, they'll build them so they can see through them. Yeah, I mean, that's not an issue.
If they make them anti-fog shields, then that might be,
Yeah, well,
I think
they got an opening in the bottom of the shield to where they won't fog them up. So
I like the other one, the whole helmet like the race car driver.
Yeah, well. But
I would have thought they would have had those by now.
Yep.
That's just it. And owners are dragging their heels.
I don't know.
Get it.
They always do.
I think they're all conspiring to make sure Colin Kaepernick doesn't play this year.
No, you know what it is. It's a conspiracy against the Browns so they can't win. That's what it is.
Browns aren't going to win anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I just don't think they have a plan. Much like the U.S. government, I don't think they have a plan. To be honest with you.
Shut her down.
Yeah, and
shut it down.
It's the smart thing.
It is. And they're talking about college football. College football can't survive without having a season. They can't survive. Colleges can't float the boat.
But some of them some conferences have already gone to.
Boo-hoo. I'm crying.
I know John's crying over
so much about college sports.
Yeah, I know John's all.
Yeah, but you got some conferences that already have trimmed it down to just in-conference games.
Well, there's no that, but all the Ivy League's done. They're not playing fall sports.
Yeah, Ivy League's done.
Yeah.
And you know what? Ivy League might have set a precedent because at some point you might see other conferences say, you know what?
I don't have faith in Roger Goodell at all, Clark. None of us have faith in Roger Goodell. Not even the owners have faith in Roger Goodell, except to look out for their own interests.
I'm like John. Honestly, I won't cry if college football gets canceled.
I won't. I mean,
no.
You know what college team may be done? Notre Dame.
Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Notre Dame. All these conferences playing only conference only schedules.
They won't have a schedule.
They can have left 3, 4.
Blaine's in the house. Hi, Blaine.
That's why.
Hi, Blaine.
It's almost impossible to believe that any type of football is going to be played this year.
I'm starting to believe that, Elliot. Especially after, you saw it today. Twitter was crazy with the "we want to play" hashtag and players just speaking out because they weren't being told what's going on. They haven't had any answers whatsoever. Players from every team in the league were going nuts on Twitter, bitching about how they have not been told anything.
Players are almost always the last ones to find out.
The next thing they might hear from NFL and ownership, no season.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see starting tomorrow because that's when rookies are supposed to report tomorrow. Injured. I think it's rookies and injured.
I think the NFL is a tough one too because of the headgear.
Yeah, the headgear, and because of the close proximity of everybody on the field, and and like you said, Elliot, there's 53 players per team.
Dude, they're breathing heavy on each other.
Yeah. So.
Especially linemen and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of droplets floating around. And if just one
Blue
person
Jays
has,
are fine, Brett.
Brett, we already talked about Blue Jays.
They'll play in Buffalo.
They can play him at the Bison Stadium in Buffalo. I think there's some issues with the stadium that need to be looked at before that can actually happen.
It's a decent park, man.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
right
sure
downtown. It's not bad.
I'm sure they'll find them a stadium in the interim
Yeah.
to play in.
Yeah.
Until they
Either
get
that or they can be the
something-
bingo long traveling Blue Jays.
But just have them play on the road until they can freaking get a home game.
That's true too.
Fine.
Bingo long
Fine.
traveling Blue Jays will be.
Jays fans travel well. I remember when I went out to Boston, when me and my wife went out there just after we got married, 2015. So that was their run when they made it to the playoffs at that time. Dude, Fenway Park, okay? The next Mecca after Yankee Stadium, right? I mean, you kind of compare the two. It was 70% Jays fans in Fenway. We're driving across I-90. Everybody's plate, Ontario. Everybody was going to Jays games. They travel well.
Now, do you think that might be the Red Sox disrespecting the Blue Jays and letting them have their seats?
It's fine. It's okay.
Because they ain't worth watching? Don't forget, Blue Jays and Red Sox are a serious rivalry now.
What, Jays and Red Sox?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They've been
Jays
battling the
and
last-
Rangers is the real drama.
Yeah.
Like,
They've been battling a lot the last few years, and the Jays have put it to the Red
Army's
Sox.
got a good point.
Army's
2004,
Expos
the
played other
Expos
home
played
games
in
in Puerto
Puerto
Rico
Rico.
in 2004.
God, I miss the Expos.
I do too.
It's
I'll
such a
still
beautiful.
say that 94 World Series, if
top
they've
of the
not
island
blown,
when I'm
if
driving
they've not
to
blown up the
Montreal.
Blue Jays, 94 World Series.
It would have been. It would have been a
Blue
Jays Expos final.
Yeah.
That would have definitely. Dude, I'm driving across the island of Montreal, and you're going on Highway 40 across. It's the north side of the island. You look to the right when you get to like the east side of the island of Montreal, and you just see the O, man. It's beautiful. It just shines in the distance. It's this gorgeous, beautiful roof falling down every 2 years piece of architecture. But whatever, doesn't matter. Just gorgeous. I love it. I love the
They
O.
built that for the Olympics, didn't they, John?
7, yes sir.
You should be back. It's the O. It's the Olympic Stadium. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Have they ever
Yeah, I
finished?
think I got a little Montreal Expos reference in here somewhere in my birthdays or
I
events.
got a
somewhere.
Expos cap.
yeah. Brett used to live down here in Florida. He used to live right where the Blue Jays had their spring training.
John, how many miles is it between Montreal and
76. Sorry, that's right. Yes, I said 67. I have it 6 and 7. So.
How far to what, Ken?
I was wondering how many miles it is between Montreal and Toronto.
4.5 hour drive. So it's like 500 kilometers. So whatever that is in miles.
Okay.
It's you do it, really
Hey,
quick.
300 miles.
Just to reference our poll from last week about the teams most likely to win the cup this year, I think it would be poetic because if Edmonton and Toronto do finish first and second, they'll be in their own arenas playing for the cup. And I think that would be a justifiable ending to what's been a crappy fucking year.
But there'd be if the Leafs win that, okay? Like if the Oilers win it, it'd be a big deal and everybody'd be happy. But if the Leafs win that, there'll be asterisks.
Yeah. And
No respect.
No respect. None.
These fans won't care.
Leaf fans
They
won't
don't care.
at all.
They'll
They'll burn the city down. It's all good.
And they'll rub it in everybody's face,
3
including the
years.
Habs fans.
Hey, didn't you say, John, that they'll make the Raptors celebration look like a school dance?
Like, okay, there was a shooting at the Raptors parade, but no one died. That's a good.
What's a parade without a shooting?
You know what I mean? The Leafs will. The Leafs fans will come from all over the world and will literally burn the city down.
Yes.
Like they will burn it down.
Yeah.
They will party like it's. Yeah, it's.
1999.
Yeah.
Like Prince in
That'll be-
1990.
Yeah, like 1999. Yes. Good luck trying to social distance that. That ain't gonna happen, man.
Yeah, there ain't gonna be no social distancing in Canada.
No.
By then, hopefully, they'll have a cure or a treatment for the virus.
The second wave will come if I guarantee it if the
But it won't be
Leafs win the Stanley
coronavirus.
Cup, the epicenter will be Toronto. Blame Canada.
The epicenter, there you go. Then we'll have to close the border on them at some point.
Yeah.
God.
When was the last time the Maple Leafs were even in the conference final?
93 against
93?
the Kings when Gretzky high-sticked Gilmore and Kerry Fraser didn't call it. Oh, we remember it well in Leaf.
Memory like an elephant. There he goes. Oh yeah, there's a group trying to buy the Mets. It's headed by A-Rod and J-Lo. You guys see that?
And they're being and there's a couple of football players I think involved in
Yeah, there's
this.
some football players involved as well. They're trying to buy the Mets. Yeah, Brett just.
But some guy named Steve Cohen is trying to step in and outbid them or whatever.
Someone needs to buy that team because they've been playing like crap a lot. The ownership.
Look, everybody needs a tax write-off every now and then, okay? And that's exactly what the Mets are.
Didn't A-Rod try to buy the Marlins also?
Yes, he did. But didn't Jeter get that instead?
And he's from Miami too.
Yeah.
A-Rod is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
93. Yeah, Army. It was.
I could have seen that. A-Rod, the owner, and Derek Jeter. Well, he's the owner of the Marlins now.
Yes,
right?
he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
There you go. Jeter even outdid him in the manager situation. Yeah.
He's about to drive him into Biscayne Bay too.
Right. Oh man.
All right.
Fun times.
So what do you got for birthday today, Elliot?
All right. Well, let's do that then. Starting Monday, July 13th. And I'm gonna give you a little prelude here. The first 3 days of the week was like trying to find a needle in a haystack for birthdays. Okay.
Yeah,
Really?
We've had a couple days like that.
Did you remember what I said last week about a pretty important birthday this week? Really? You guys had a hard time trying to find birthdays this week?
Your birthday.
No.
Whose birthday is it this week?
Ken knows because he's shaking his head.
Oh, your son.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I saw the post. I just didn't. I spent the night. Hey,
He's not a sports star yet. He's only 3.
I spent the night in the hospital last night, so I didn't have a chance to put all my shit together till the last minute. Had some chest pains. Had to go check that out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So I'm kind of a little worn out because of that fucking bed I had to sleep in last night. Otherwise, my heart's fine.
That's good.
But anyway, starting July 13th, which was Monday, turning the ripe old age of 38, Mr. Yadier Molina, all-star catcher. Remember Anthony Spud Webb?
Oh yeah, we love.
Oh yeah.
He turned 57 this
Man could dunk a basketball. He was only 5. It was like 5'5" or 5'6".
In high school.
Now, somebody made a mistake on Leon Spinks, what was it, a week ago or 2 weeks ago? They thought he was Michael?
That was me.
Michael turned 64 this week.
Yeah, that was me. That was probably me.
So they were like 2 weeks apart or something like that.
Who fought? We were all about who fought. Who was it?
Tyson?
Tyson, yeah. And I
Was it
thought,
Michael?
Michael.
Leon did Muhammad Ali.
right.
Leon would have been way too old to fight Mike Tyson.
Yes.
But anyway, and just to show you how much I had to dig, but I came across this one. I thought it was kind of interesting. Of PTI fame, turning 72, Mr. Tony Kornheiser.
Tony Kornheiser. Gosh.
ESPN.
Turning 72.
72.
Mm.
On July 14th, Tuesday, I mean, we don't talk MMA on this show, but this guy actually transcends that sport and into another whatever. 32 years old, Conor McGregor.
He's born on July 14th. Really?
Yep.
Fancy that. That's my kid's birthday. There you go. Happy birthday.
This
Connor.
guy used to play for the Oakland Athletics and the Atlanta Braves, I believe. Born in 1975, turning 45 today. Tim Hudson, pitcher.
Yep.
Oh, wait,
And the
Conor
guy
McGregor got.
And the guy that made a mistake to run out of the mound and get pulverized by Nolan Ryan, Mr. Robin Ventura.
Oh my God, I love that. I remember that so vividly. It was
turned 50.
Ryan was like 45 years old when he did that too. He kicked the shit out of the guy.
I'm serious. He grabbed him in the head like a, it looked like WWE shit, you know?
Right?
All right,
Oh,
July
here's some
15th.
breaking news about Conor McGregor.
What?
Okay.
He got shit-faced drunk on his birthday.
Gee,
Boy, is that a shocker.
what a shocker.
July
Yeah.
15th was probably the slimmest day of the week. I only had 3. And one of them I don't even really know. I'll throw him out first. Jonathan Chichu of the NHL.
Yeah. Pride of Moosonee, Ontario.
Yes.
He turns 30.
Who's
He turned
back?
30 this week. Khalid Reeves. Remember Khalid Reeves in the NBA?
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Kennywood.
He's turned 48 today. Khalid Reeves, he played with Damon Stoudemire in the backcourt for the Arizona Wildcats back in the 80s, I believe it was.
Damon Stoudemire.
And in 1990, turning 30 today, Mr. Dame himself, Damian Lillard of the Portland.
Damian Lillard is 30. Boy, you listen to these guys at 30 years old and you look at your life and go, shit. Damn.
Now, this guy here would have turned the ripe old age of 133 this week. And I only brought him up because of the fame, the claim to fame that he has. Mr. Shoeless Joe Jackson
Oh, Shoeless Joe.
of the Black Sox, 1918.
Joe Jackson.
133 he would have been today. He was born in 1887. Claude Lemieux of the NHL
Oh, Lemieux.
Yes.
turns 55.
Colorado Avalanche.
Yep. Show enough.
Show enough.
Terry Pendleton turns 60.
Terry Pendleton. Oh my God. Atlanta
Welcome to the
Braves.
60 Club, Terry.
Atlanta Braves, third
Played
baseman.
for St. Louis also.
Yeah.
And did well. Charles Smith, former NBA forward. The thing I remember about Charles Smith was when he couldn't make that layup against the Bulls to push the Knicks to the next round
Right.
in that playoff game against Chicago. Who else was born on that day? Oh, well, this name is just greatness all in its own. Barry Sanders turns 52.
God, Barry Sanders is 52 years old. Oh. He's only 2 years younger than I am. Well, a year, but still. God.
And at the ripe old age of 77, he was the second best coach in Cowboys history, Mr. Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson. JJ.
Who
Okay,
you think he's the second best? You think Landry was the best? I think he is too, but still.
I think Landry is the best
Yeah.
by far.
Yeah.
And he would have done even more had Jerry Jones not come in and fucked it all up.
Correct. And Kenny probably agrees with you. I mean, I know he's a big Tom Landry fan too. So
Yes.
Yeah, to me, Tom's the best.
Although
of
he
all
did
time.
have his faults too. But
Yeah, but he wasn't no fucking Jerry Jones.
you know who Jimmy Johnson had a couple of high school classes with, huh?
Yeah. And then they
Janis
came up with
Joplin.
Barry Switzer after that, and who else? It's just Tom Landry, point blank. Anyway, July 17th on Friday, we got Mark Savard of the NHL.
Wow. Mark Savard, Bruins legend.
Mm-hmm.
He is 43.
Career cut.
Turned
very
43 on
short.
Friday.
Head injury. He had concussions at the Yankees.
Another hockey player, Mr. Ryan Miller.
Did he make our top 10 Americans of all time list?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right. And he's 30 years old, and he's looking to lock that in.
30? That's all?
30 years old today. Or
Wow.
Friday.
I thought he was older than that.
Here's one of my favorites of all time from the NHL, Mr. Brian Trottier.
Yeah.
BT.
64 years old today for Trotz. That's what we
man.
call him in New York, Trotz. John would know this guy, Adam Lind.
Yes, Blue Jays legend. No, not really, but Blue Jays.
37 years old.
Jeez, I
That's
suck
right.
at life, man. These guys are like.
What, Brett?
You guys remember, and I know Ken does, and I'm pretty sure Scott does. I'm not sure about John. Charlie Steiner.
Yes, Charlie Steiner. Famous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Watch the Dodgers.
71 years old.
He's the Dodgers play-by-play man now.
Yes.
And he got to start with ESPN. His broadcasting for ESPN is doing sports.
Yep.
I remember Charlie Steiner very well. Yes.
All right, and I saved this one.
Oh, it's
Can anybody say wide right? He turned 60 today.
oh
Are you
no!
serious?
Oh no!
Scott
Who?
Norwood.
Scotty Norwood.
60 years old.
Scott Norwood.
Bro, I can't blame him, man. It's been long, and they just let's move on.
You know, he's in the same. You know where he fell in the same category with like Bill Buckner, dude.
Bill Buckner.
But you know what? What's great is Buffalo fans love Scott Norwood to this
Oh,
day.
hell yeah, we do.
Oh yeah,
Love him.
absolutely.
Yeah.
He made one mistake.
Yeah.
Dude. That's it.
Yeah, because of all the big kicks,
Otherwise-
he made, that's the one
otherwise
bad
it's
kick he made, and he made so many more great kicks.
Okay, let's keep going. I don't know this in my head. Thanks.
Okay, so out of boxing, Canelo Alvarez turned 30 today.
Hey, cinnamon.
Remember Torrey Hunter of the Minnesota Twins?
Yes, I do.
45 years old today.
Good luck, Brett.
Who lives in my area?
Couple of golf legends. Mr. Calvin Peete.
Yes.
He died 5 years ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or 20. He died like in 2005, I think. Or 2000. Yeah, 2005. He would have been 77. And yesterday, Mr. Nick Faldo turned 63.
Wow.
You guys know
Sir
Nick?
Nick Faldo.
Kenny brought this up earlier today on Facebook, and I wanted to briefly mention it. Jeremy Roenick.
Oh, he got fired, didn't
He
he?
got fired by NBC.
Yeah.
Suing NBC for wrongful termination and what is it? He says that they fired him because he was a straight white guy. Basically, is what he's saying.
Because he was what?
Straight.
Straight white guy.
What are they?
Heterosexual.
Are they about the Rainbow Pride over there or something?
I don't know, but he was on, of all places, he went on Barstool Sports and started talking about a vacation that he had with the wife and the girl from the NHL Network. I follow her on Twitter, but I forgot her name off the top of my head. But he and his wife and
Discrimination. Can you say
and
discrimination?
talk about simply implying that there could have been a threesome action going on, so to speak. Okay. He did it, of course, on Barstool, which is like the junior high school version of sports journalism. And it was just, yeah, I mean, I like Jeremy Roenick was a great player, but he should have kept his mouth shut. He basically should have kept his mouth shut. But I can't help but think maybe the guys in Barstool, I didn't hear the interview, but they could have prodded him along and tried to let him on a little bit. Because that's what those guys do. Those guys are just trash.
Jeremy
Okay.
Roenick suffered from the Ron White syndrome. He had the right to remain silent, just not the ability.
Correct.
This guy turned 80 years of age yesterday. And I know that some of you may not care for him too much, but fuck all of y'all. Mr. Joe Torre.
I like Joe Torre. I love me some Joe Torre.
Joe Torre is 80?
Everybody loves Joe Torre. But you know what? They're going to hate him at some point because he was the Yankees manager.
Yeah, well.
I'm putting that out to all the Yankee haters. All right. And turning 48, and I'm not sure what age the puppet is, Penny Hardaway.
Penny Hardaway.
Nice. My favorite shoes ever were pennies.
Yes, Penny Hardaway.
Nice.
Okay, today's birthdays. Here's a name you might, maybe one or two you might. Ilia Nastasi,
Ilia Nastasi, great tennis player, yes.
Crazy.
74. Yeah, he was nuts, dude. He was nuts on the tennis court.
Absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I didn't think John was going to know who that was, especially if it's tennis. Jason Stark, the guy from ESPN that does the baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Used to, doesn't anymore.
Oh, he doesn't anymore? I can't
He's on
believe,
Fox
dude.
now, I think.
I can't believe he's 69 years old.
69?
Yeah.
Wow.
He doesn't even look it, dude.
No.
He looks like he's in his late 40s or something. You know what I'm saying?
No kidding.
He aged well. Anyway, of Montreal Expos fame, this gentleman was born in 1966, turning 54 today, Mr. David Segui.
Wow. You'd put him
Who?
Expos?
Huh?
Wasn't he a Mariner too?
I didn't catch the name.
That was
Who
a
was it?
different Segui. That was a different Segui. That was a different
Oh,
Segui.
David
that was on the
Segui.
line.
Oh.
Ron Gallo in the house, guys. Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron, what's up, buddy? Okay,
I gotta Google it.
San Francisco Giant, Mark Carrion. Remember him? 57? Turned 57 today. Of St. Louis Cardinals fame, Mr. Rick Ankiel,
Oh, God.
turned 41.
Outfield in Pittsburgh.
Mariners and the Jays.
Former defensive back for the Green Bay Packers, Mr. Leroy Butler,
Okay.
turned 52. And this is a birthday and an homage to one of the greater ESPN characters of all time, Mr. Stuart
Stuart
Scott.
Scott. Yep. He would, I think, 55, I think he would have been.
55.
Rest in peace.
He
Yeah.
passed away in 2015 at the age of 50, I believe, or 49.
He was cool as the other side of the pillow.
Shortly after the EXPYs, I think he passed.
He
away.
was the bomb.
He was the one that it was the innovator as far as catchphrases on ESPN. He was the one that innovated that whole thing.
Well, yeah, he kind of took the torch from Berman on that.
Yeah.
Berman.
Berman was notorious.
No
fan
one
until-
circles the wagon like the buffalo.
I always liked the ESPN Sports Center commercial with him walking past as LeBron's in front of the printer, and Stewart walks by, looks at him because he's trying to fix the printer, and Stewart looks at him, and goes, "Chosen one, huh?" and just walks on.
Well, I just wanted to bring this up to see what you guys think. You know that team, Washington, formerly known as Prince, because they don't have
Yes.
a real name right now.
Yeah.
FC Washington.
You know, they got bigger issues to deal with than
Yes.
just changing that team
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, they do. And when I hear it, it's an issue across the entire league. It's not just limited to the Redskins. I mean, to be honest, guys, and again, I wrote a blog post about this. Women in sports have been nothing but chastised, harassed, bullied, berated, not respected. In as far as as long as there's been sports, women have always been treated that way.
In America. Okay? Remember I told you this about the whole, because like for as long as I can remember, up here we don't have ESPN, we have TSN. We have TSN, we have Sportsnet. That's the two. Always. There's always been women broadcasters, news reporters.
Yeah.
Always. I never thought of to me it was never like, oh, there's a chick talking about sports. How dare she? Never. Like it was never.
I never felt that way either, John. I've always respected. I mean, people like Amy Trask used to be an executive with the Oakland Raiders. She worked under Al Davis, and now she does CBS, the morning show for CBS on NFL Sundays. The woman knows more about football than I've forgotten in my life. She's so good, and there's a lot of other. Women are getting jobs in. There was a coach that was on the Celtics who just got hired as a women's coach at Duke. She's the head coach at Duke now. She used to be a broadcaster. She just got hired. But I never could understand why women were treated the way they were treated. I mean, if you're a sports fan, you're a sports fan. It doesn't matter what gender you are. If you know sports,
right,
it's there. And the Redskins have a lot to deal with, and a lot to answer to. And I would not be surprised if this whole issue blows up around every major sports league in the country. Again, it's a U.S. thing, John. You're right. It is a U.S. thing. It's not necessarily worldwide.
Right.
But yeah, it's
the Dallas Mavericks have already been run through the ringer.
Yes. Yeah, and what's great is that their owner was ahead of it and got ahead of it and got in front of it.
You know what killed me about that story is that somebody had recently posted the team logo of the Washington Foreskins.
I did see that too. Yeah.
Thank
you, Bill. Thank you, Clarky. Carol Larson's her name. Yes. Thank you, Kenny. Or Clarky.
I mean, that just threw the whole conversation in another direction.
Right. Yeah. Well, there's several names being tossed around. They got trademark issues they have to get through. Some fan bought up a whole bunch of trademarks. Now they got to go through him to get these trademarks.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
I like it.
But not the name issue for the Redskins is just a small subject of the bigger issue in sports. Mm-hmm. And you guys know I listen to a podcast from that three women do in Cleveland. I listen to them every week, and they're great, and they're really good, and they know their shit. And they get the same issues, same things thrown at them. They get harassed on Twitter all the time, and it pisses me off because they're just not getting as much respect as they deserve. I mean, granted, they've got more viewers and watchers than we do, but still, I mean, they're still not getting their due respect.
Sexism has been a part of sports
forever. Yeah, forever.
Women have never truly been respected or accepted in the world of sports.
And that's just wrong. It's wrong.
It is. It's flat out
totally wrong.
Especially now in this day and age.
It's 2020, for God's sake. Come on.
Exactly. I mean, they were given the right to vote a long time ago.
Or 100 years ago.
Why couldn't they get the respect at the same time of being women, independent women?
Because there's too many misogynists in this country. That's why.
Exactly. They'll never let it happen, just like they tried their hardest to keep a black president from gracing the White House.
Right. And Brett, most Native Americans don't like the name. The name was created by the original owner of the Redskins, who was a huge white supremacist, and
Redskins is kind of a hard one to
justify. You can somewhat justify the Seminoles because the actual Seminole Nation works hand in hand with Florida State. And they do.
It's like
Redskins.
Yeah.
It's like having the picture of a white guy and calling them Washington Crackers.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That shit just ain't cutting it.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't even know how this is still even a debate. Like I don't care about tradition or anything. That's just wrong on so many.
But it has been for almost 100 years now.
Yeah, exactly. It's been wrong for a long ass time, and now it's like whatever. Just change it.
Now the Edmonton Eskimos going to change their name.
Yeah, and but again, Edmonton, the Eskimos organization works a lot with the northern communities in Alberta and elsewhere.
With the indigenous communities.
And there's a few people that are like gur.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere near. Yeah. It's nowhere near the spectrum that is.
And
Redskins is
that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
I mean, come on, we stole their freaking land. Christopher Columbus stole their damn land. Yeah. We give him a birthday celebration. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. Man.
I mean, and again, it's different. Like with the Seminoles, again, the Seminole Nation is very intertwined with the school, and they work hand in hand together. And then the Seminole Nation has zero problem with the name of the logo in Florida State, because Florida State's first of all, it's not a racial slur. It's an actual tribe name. It's an actual tribe. Okay. And the Seminole Nation loves the fact that they've got representation with Florida State. They love it. So
it's not a personal swipe, basically.
No, it's not.
Redskin is basically a personal swipe at Indians, because that's
actually
what they were like.
The one's biggest issue with it is the Seminole Nation in Oklahoma. They're the ones with the problem.
I'll tell you what. I bet you if Mexico had a team,
Seminole Nation in Florida.
I bet you if Mexico had a team, they'd have a problem with if they were called the Beaners.
Yeah.
Just
If
saying.
anybody's interested, John Rahm just won the Memorial Tournament.
Oh God, I can't stand that guy. Can't stand that guy. Anyway, Ron, yes, we did actually. I mean, did you have maybe someone that had a birthday today that Elliot didn't know as far as NHL is concerned? But he did mention a lot of NHL players that had birthdays this week. Yes,
Claude Lemieux,
Claude
Mark
Lemieux.
Savard.
Yep.
Mark Savard and Chichu.
Choo-choo.
Jonathan Chichu, man.
Hey, Ken,
Yes,
you remember Boston's pitcher Steve Renko?
yes.
On this day in 1979, him and Nolan Ryan both lost no hitters in the ninth inning.
Yep.
Also,
One
If
with
y'all
the
remember-
California
Dick
Angels. I watched that game. It was against the Yankees.
also on this day was the famous collapse at the Open Championship.
Phil Mickelson?
No.
Oh,
It was
was, what's his name?
French guy.
He's a French guy.
Is he a French guy?
Oh,
Van-
God.
Vanderberg.
Yes.
Vanderbilt.
Van de Velde. Yes.
Charles Vanderbilt. Yeah.
Yes. He only needed to double bogey the last hole when he shot like a triple bogey to get into a playoff and lost.
Well, more than a triple bogey, it was like 8.
Yeah.
That's no man.
It was a bad. He just bad
hey,
decision.
this week our boy Kirby Puckett in 1993 won the All-Star MVP.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Yes.
Kirby.
Kirby was my age.
You guys keep. I'm just going through these at random. So
Mm-hmm.
you guys want to fill the conversation? Go right ahead.
John Rahm, what a hothead.
I have a little bit of an opinion, John.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Scott.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, damn, I thought I was going to be included. Sorry.
No. July 15th came and went, and Dak Prescott did not get an extension, so he's
Right.
having to play for $31.4 million this year,
Yes.
which means I have a feeling he's going to play out this year if we get to play. And then look at Walking. I don't,
Because he wasn't
not at all
respected
sure
by
he's
Jerry
going to
Jones.
play another
Jerry
year.
Jones disrespected him. I don't blame him. They're
Oh,
talking.
he
about,
won't be back. He won't be back.
They're talking about him going to Minnesota.
He won't be back.
Yeah.
That's gonna be Andy Dalton's team now.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say that I blame him if he walks. I can't say that I blame him.
I can't blame him.
Jerry
You can't
Jones.
just stand there and get insulted like that. Come on.
Jerry
man.
Jones did not respect him whatsoever by offering him a decent contract and just I know I'm on Dak's side with this. He deserved to get a new contract as opposed to play under the tag.
Hey Kenny, here's one. I mean Ken, here's one just for you.
All right.
The 1970 All-Star Game. The NL beats the AL,
Yes.
but the All-Star MVP came from the AL team. Who lost?
So,
Can you take a guess?
so MVP was from the AL team?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Huh?
70. That was the year that Pete Rose ran over Ray Fosse to win the
Fosse.
game.
Uh-huh.
Carly Strzemski?
You got it, sir.
I was thinking Yaz myself.
You got it.
His grandson's a pretty good baseball player.
Yes.
He's playing with the Giants right now.
Yep. Sure is.
19
By the way, Elliot, Ron put in the chat another hockey player whose birthday was this week is named Dick Irvin. He was born in 1892, played professional hockey, but is more known for his coaching career. He coached 3 different teams: Montreal, Toronto, and Chicago.
No, I saw a lot of NHL players.
Yeah.
Some that I didn't know who they were,
Right.
but I couldn't take them all and put them on the list. So, I just took the ones that I think I might have
He
known.
won 4 Stanley Cups, but the notable record is, wait for it, he made over 26 years behind the bench. He made 24 playoff appearances. He won 4 Stanley Cups.
Yeah, You got to remember this is coming from Ron, and
Yes.
Dick Irvin is a Montreal legend, so
Yes.
that's why
Yes.
we're hearing the
Yeah,
propaganda.
Mr. Ron NHL Wikipedia.
Yeah, right. But he was but the noble record is being the losing coach in the Stanley Cup Finals, a record 12 times.
Hey, this week in 1974, Billy Martin became the first AL manager to get ejected from 2 games in one day.
Billy, you're fired. Oh no, not again.
You got to be crazy to get ejected.
You gotta love the old school stuff with Steinbrenner and Billy Martin. That was some great stuff. Some really great stuff.
Hey, here's one for you, John.
Yes, sir.
1987 All-Star MVP in baseball.
Fred McGriff.
Played for Montreal Expos.
Oh, 87.
Nickname Rock.
Rock. Who's Rock? Tim Raines? No.
Yeah, Tim Rock Raines, baby.
There you go.
There you go.
Wait, Timmy. Happy birthday. Yeah. You gotta make sure, Ron. I gotta look out for you, man. The Montreal fandom. I gotta curb it a little bit.
I'm looking for some NHL stuff. Trust me.
Yeah. He's representing Toronto there, Ron. So don't think you're getting any sympathy from John on Montreal.
Coffee tastes so much better when it's in a Toronto Maple Leafs mug.
Oh my God, that's too.
I'm in my grandfather's house. Okay,
Right.
The Leafs memorabilia here and stuff is everywhere. So.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by memorabilia, huh?
Oh, dude, there's 3 teams here. Like I said last week, you're either a Leafs fan, a Habs fan, or a Bruins fan.
Right.
No other team exists in this province.
Newfoundland.
Just the 3.
I hope it's Tim Hortons coffee.
It actually is. It actually is Tim Hortons coffee. It is. The brew at home, though. But, we won't hold
Homebrew,
it.
yes.
Yeah, do you have a Tim Hortons around there somewhere, John, or no?
Oh, 30 minutes away.
30 minutes, okay.
Yeah, the new thing out here is Robin's Donuts. That's the new franchise that seems to be propagating in all small towns in Newfoundland, which is fantastic, by the way. Just saying. And I was talking to Barry. You saw I took a picture with Barry on
I did
Friday.
see you with Barry this week, yes. That's also,
And we were in front of Robin's, and he was telling me how the cost of opening these is like 1/5 of what it costs to open a Tim Hortons. So everybody's going into the Robin's business, and these Robins are popping up. There's a drive-through Robin's place in this town. This town didn't have running water 30 years ago.
Ding, 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 NHL. In 2005, after declining an offer to remain with the then Anaheim Mighty Ducks, Mike Babcock is named head coach of the Detroit Red Wings.
Oh, God.
Hey, I'm fishing for all NHL shit I can find.
Yeah. Babs.
So how's your father doing? I saw you visited him, too.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's living the dream out there, man.
You got some, like I said, you got some great pictures when you were in your travels over there, but
Fuck Travis Darno.
let's see what it's like in December and January. You can get back to me, okay?
Oh, it's miserable, but it's you accept it. Like
Yeah.
when you're out here, you're not like oh, I wish we're gonna have a good winter this year. No, it's gonna suck. It's gonna be shitty. It's gonna be snowy, and you might get snow up to your head.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, the summers here are amazing.
Yeah.
In 41, Joe DiMaggio hit in his 56th straight game, which would be his last this week.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie. Yeah, exactly, Ron.
Didn't-
Yeah. His best years were definitely in Detroit, not
Now,
Toronto.
you see what Brett just posted? The 2003-04 LeBron James Upper Deck Rookie Patch Parallel Card sold at auction for $1.84 million on Sunday.
Why? Why would you
Remember we used to put baseball cards on our bicycle wheels?
Yeah, but see, that's what's really weird because, like, that's not like an old card,
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
a Wayne Gretzky.
03-04, yeah, it's
Babe
less
Ruth
than
or
20
something
years
like
old.
that. Like, whatever.
Yeah, but sometimes they make these exclusive cards that nobody else will
Right, you
want.
get one in a
Yeah.
pack of 10,000.
Well, the oversaturation of the market is what killed the card industry. I mean, I used to collect cards when I was in my younger years too. I've still got.
Dude, Beckett was my Beckett
Well,
was my rival.
I went with Top Stadium Club with my football, and that was that best set during that time in the late 80s and early 90s. I thought. But then again, you had the one. What was the brand where the '89 draft it was worth so much money? Huh?
Upper Deck.
It wasn't Upper Deck.
Tops.
No, it wasn't Tops. I think it was Donruss.
Donruss.
Donruss. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, you guys had Tops. You know what we had up here? Did you guys have OPG? You didn't have OPG
No.
down there. Right? That's what Canada had. You had Tops down there, and then OPG was the Canadian brand that Tops in the States.
Okay, all right. Because Tops was the original back in the day. It was all Tops. Because I got Tops cards from the '70s that you know, back when they didn't have put the logos on the helmets back in the days before they had the NFL license.
I gave all my cards to my kid. He's got.
I still got boxes and albums. In fact, in my bookcase, I've got albums of cards that I've kept over the years too.
Mine
I mean, they're not worth the cardboard they're printed on, but I kept them because they're nostalgic to me, so I kept them.
Dude, what is that thing behind your shoulder?
This right here?
What is that?
That is a mask that I wore
Jabberwocky
for Halloween.
It's a Jabberwocky.
Well, no, it's a mask, but
You're a Jabberwocky.
Yeah,
And you're
well,
seeing a Jabberwocky, and
but
he has no idea what we're talking about.
no, Jabberwocky.
No idea.
But it was a mask
That's what I thought, Elliot. First time.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Go ahead, sorry, Scotty.
Totally.
That's all right. No, we our teams at work, because we got several different teams at work. We went as specific themes for Halloween, and we've got masked for our theme was The Purge, the movie The Purge, and so we all each made our own mask for that, and that's what that's for.
I like Jabberwocky better.
I like a Jabberwocky story.
I remember when Shaq did the Jabberwocky at the All-Star.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Hey, here's an interesting one. 1991, with a New York Yankee victory, 10 of 14 AL teams sat on that day at 500 or better. Can you imagine how bad the other 4 teams sucked? For 10 teams out of 14 to be at or over 500?
In the AL?
Yeah, those other 4 teams had to be awful.
God.
They basically had to lose to everybody.
91, and probably the Indians were in that.
That 91. That's right around Major League 2, right?
Yes, correct. Because Major League 1 was like
86, I think.
87.
Oh, it was
87.
88.
In fact, the Indians were still playing in the old Muni at that time before Jacobs Field came around.
Right.
But yeah, I started thinking, I'm like, what the hell was the records of those other teams at that point? Shit.
No, I don't dance, Katie. It's not a pretty sight. You don't want to see me dance.
What was the high temperature there, John, today?
Here, I don't do the Fahrenheit, but it was 28
Celsius.
So that's
Oh,
high
so
80s, I think, mid 80s.
Celsius was probably
82.
below 0, right?
82.
32 is 0. 32 Fahrenheit.
Right. 28 is 82. So.
82. Yeah.
Hey guys, I got a homework assignment for you for next week,
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
and I'm gonna give it to you right now.
Okay.
Being that we might not have a lot of NFL to talk about this year, at least not live. NFL. I'm gonna leave you with this little homework assignment. You need to name the best player ever. Doesn't mean recent times, it means ever for each NFL team.
Oh, for all 32 teams.
All 32
Best
teams.
player ever for each NFL team.
Correct. You got a week to come up with 32 names.
Okay, I'm just putting a disclaimer out.
Huh?
I don't give a rat's ass about the NFL 85 like before. So just saying.
Well, put down what you want to.
Okay, I'm just saying.
It's an opinion piece. It's not factual. It doesn't mean it'd be factual.
I mean, you'll probably not know half the people that are.
Yeah, especially Ken. Ken will start naming guys from like the 50s.
But here's what I
He'll be like, oh yeah, this guy was great. It was like,
here's what
Train Lane. There we go.
here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send out a multiple choice of 3 for each team on Facebook.
cool. And
So look for the posts.
I'll pick the guy who's fit.
I'll have like 4 teams. I'll have like 4 teams in each post.
Okay.
okay, with 3 choices. Some of them are going to be downright fucking simple, dude.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because there's just some that are downright stupid.
Oh, you just
Like
put
this?
up a 95 though.
Yeah, but this is what
What?
I'm saying.
Is that Myles Garrett, isn't it?
This is Myles Garrett. Yeah, but
So you're saying Myles Garrett is better than Jim Brown?
No, I'm saying my number
No,
one.
because I think that's what you just did, Scott.
No. Speaking of which, Myles Garrett, 5-year extension for $125 million. The first round pick to ever get an extension. The first one since what's his face with the Pittsburgh? I don't even remember his name anymore. But that's the first time the Browns have extended a first round pick in like 8 years.
Ron's challenge is better than.
By the way, anybody in the crowd that wants to take that challenge on, feel free to do so.
Ron's
that?
challenge is better.
Just look for the post of the multiple choices for each.
Oh,
That's the homework assignment should be to name 8 CFL players.
Yeah.
Just name one a team.
Doug Flutie.
9 in the league now.
NFL.
Doug Flutie.
Yeah. You know what? Present day, I couldn't even name you 2.
I couldn't
name. I don't watch.
I couldn't name 8 over the course of the CFL. I know Manziel played. I know Doug Flutie was big. So Warren.
I'll tell you what. In that list, there's actually some players that are still playing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Brett says John Stephon Diggs doesn't count.
Warren Moon or Doug Flutie. It's like the default answers, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Ron, I couldn't name you 8 CFL players in the history of the league. There's no way.
Now, Warren Moon, is that your pick for the Oilers?
No.
For the frickin' Eskimos, man.
Eskimos.
Because that's one Tennessee/Houston Oilers. Remember that. That's the one organization.
So the Baltimore Ravens are also the Cleveland.
No, because they both each have their own names now.
Yeah, correct. Because the Browns kept the history. You can't.
They just changed cities. They never changed.
Correct.
You know, they changed the Titans and the Oilers. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
Hello, Scott. I got a story for you.
Okay.
A buddy of mine played a foursome at Torrey Pines this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday. You know who he played with?
Who?
One of the foursome. Brian Sipe.
Oh, love me some Brian Sipe. Cardiac Kids, 1970s.
Oh,
Brian Sipe.
Was he number 19?
No, he was number 17 actually.
17. There you go.
17.
Yes. 19 was Bernie.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, 19 was Bernie.
I actually had a college course with one of Brian's cousins. She was really good looking.
Yeah, Brian Sipe is a Cleveland icon. We love because you got your great quarterbacks. Of course, Otto Graham was the greatest quarterback for Cleveland ever. Okay, but then we like Brian Sipe. We like Bernie, and now Baker has that potential, but we still don't know yet.
I got show and tell. This is just gonna drop a bomb. This is crazy. Ron Gallo, I hope you were paying attention because this is crazy.
What, Toronto Raptors are world champs?
Yeah. I was actually looking.
We already know that one.
I was looking for the piece of paper.
Hopefully, it got lost in the move. We're hoping to get lost in the move, John.
Oh, no, I found it. Look at that. Nice. Okay, so I found this when I was moving, and I haven't hung it up yet because I wanted to show you guys, and it just reminded me. So
okay,
here it is. This is crazy, right here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so that's the production line, right? So for hockey people that understand who that is Gordie Howe, Sid Abel, Ted Lindsay.
Holy shit.
Everything's autographed to me.
Grandpa got some gold on it there, don't he?
Or did you? Is that yours or is it your grandpa?
This is mine. This is it says
you got some gold.
Jonathan, best of luck, Gordie Howe. To Jonathan, best wishes, Sid Abel. To Jonathan, sincerely, Ted Lindsay.
Jonathan,
have you gotten that appraised?
Well, I mean, it's priceless, bro. I mean, it's like this Gordie Howe, Sid Abel, they're all dead.
Out of curiosity, I would wonder what kind of dollar sign they would put on something.
Right. Yeah, that's it's.
Just out of curiosity, I wouldn't get rid of it.
Well, no, I got this. I also got another one signed when Alex Del Vecchio and Ted Lindsay got the numbers retired. I was there for the ceremony because my dad's best friend was Ted Lindsay, right? Yeah. So I got all this Red Wing stuff from these guys. I also got a game signed stick from Ted.
Nice.
So I gave it to my kid. So it's from like it's an old Kirkland something. But anyways, I thought
You should
Ron would
you
get
should be on Antique Roadshow.
Yeah. So.
That's
Hey,
where
guys.
you got some money invested right there.
Yeah, man.
Hey guys, I just want to let you know I'm working on bringing in a little bit more technology into the show.
Oh yeah.
Right now, me and Aaron are working on something where I can actually broadcast replays and news and all that shit right on the show. So like if there's a news piece on ESPN and we want to discuss it, we can see the video of the news piece.
You can do a screen share off your machine.
And it'll be in one of the boxes on the screen.
Okay. All right.
For everyone to see.
And I need to stop being so bored at home and start getting my ass off the chair. If that's just me. Anyway.
I'm pretty excited about it. I think it looks.
Yeah, I am too, Elliot.
He showed me an example of it.
Yeah.
He showed me an example on his end.
Yeah.
And it looked phenomenal, dude.
Good. I just need to get more people in the show, and that's on me.
And that's what we can do with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The more appeal you put on the show, the more people get curious and want to show up.
Yep.
100 member challenge is another one of those things I threw out there. You know.
Yeah. Katie's got a quick question. Wouldn't that violate licensing agreements?
Who?
Wouldn't that violate licensing agreements? Because you can't rebroadcast anything without their express written permission.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so. It's just a replay. It's something that's out there on wide open on the internet.
Yeah, but it's one thing for us for as one-on-one consumption, but when you broadcast it on the show, it's actually broadcasting it out.
If you just put it on the blockchain, no one could do shit.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, you could just put it on Hive instead of dealing with this Facebook shit. Just joking. Love you, Mark.
Yeah.
Zuck for life. Zuckerberg is my hero.
Look for the latest picture of Mark Zuckerberg on paddleboarding today, and he looks. Oh my God.
Fucker burger.
He's a pasty white dumbass. But hey, John, if the blockchain had something like this, we could do it, but they really don't, do they?
Vim.
Yeah.
Vim's fine.
Yeah, but
Vim is flawless, to be honest.
You know what? I'll research it.
Okay.
And see what ramifications, if any, exist. I wouldn't think on this small of a scale they would give a fuck, to be honest with you.
What the shit does he have in a face?
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. That picture went out today on Twitter. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Bro, he looks like Data from like Star Trek.
What is that? Sunscreen he's got on his face? I don't know.
Apparently. Like, man, that guy is like whiter than me, man, and I'm white as hell. Like, I'm transparent.
Like Pillsbury Doughboy?
No, that's Zuckerberg.
Is he white like the Pillsbury Doughboy?
Oh man, he is tasty.
Yep, he's got something on his face. I don't know what it is, and the look on his face, like, oh shit, they caught me. Weird.
Maybe it says zinc.
It could be zinc oxide. Yeah, that's what.
Put on.
Yeah, could be zinc oxide because zinc oxide blocks sunlight 100%. UV rays, anyway.
Ron's here. He didn't.
Ron said, as long as you put it out and you don't make a profit, it's okay. So I guess we're going to be okay with that.
Yeah, we're not making a profit.
My picture, I didn't get a reaction from him. So.
We don't charge anybody anything to do on this show. This is a free broadcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Ron didn't react to your picture. I'm surprised.
He didn't see it. I don't think he saw it.
He may have been out and back in again.
Yeah.
Show it to him again.
I'll wait and see if he saw it, because if he doesn't want to see it, it's fine. It's okay.
Trust me, when it comes to Ron, I don't think it's a want thing. I think it's I was indisposed at the moment thing.
I just got finished 100-kilometer bike ride thing. That's what.
Yes, that's what he was bragging about. Yes,
this guy loves hockey consumption, man.
Yes, he does. He's a biker. He loves to ride bikes, and he's big time hockey. Yes.
I'm actually excited if hockey actually comes back for this thing. I mean, I'd be excited to see cricket these days. I mean, shit.
Right.
Yeah.
But no one ever.
Yeah, and Brett asked the question earlier if we feel that hockey's gonna be able to start and play. It's going to start, Whether they finish, that's another question.
They will.
All the sports is going to start whether they finish. It's just that's
John. He was on the phone when you put it up. So you want to just go ahead and put it back up for me, real quick.
Oh, I'll do it again.
Yes,
do it again. Try.
Ron. This is just for you, Ron. Call out the names, John. He probably knows who they are.
Oh, he knows who they are, but every single one.
Don't insult him by telling him the names.
Yeah. Each one of those are signed to me.
Yes.
Which is one of the benefits of having Ted Lindsay as my dad's best friend.
Right.
Well, rest in peace. He just died 2 years ago.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's some awesome shit right there.
Totally.
Yeah, Gordie
you really need to be on Antique Roadshow.
Right.
Find out what that's worth. Because you're looking at a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he never
sell it, but
I wouldn't
find out what
sell
it's worth.
No.
I got a bunch of Gordie signed a bunch of stuff for me. I got his book here.
Yeah.
Him and Pauline wrote back in the day. It's signed. Ted signed something to me. See you in the NHL, Jonathan. Like he thought that's when I was good at hockey and I was like going to be something in life.
How old were you at that time, John?
I was probably like 12 or something, and I was like getting on all-star select teams, and I was in an age group, and I was like really good. And then I started listening to rap music in my life. You know?
Yeah. Ron Lindsay's a family friend. You are correct, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Ted Lindsay is my dad's best friend. Well, he passed away, but he was my dad's best friend.
Right. And Brett asked if we think there's going to be an issue with the bubble with players coming and going. Players are only allowed to leave for family issues, family emergencies. And then when they come back, they have to be in quarantine for 4 days. They can't go anywhere. So the NBA is handling that well, and I don't see a problem with it going forward. We'll see. I mean,
this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the NBA got together with all the agents and said, listen, guys, tell your clients to just play in the damn bubble for a couple of months, because then imagine the revenue that the TV could generate from the NBA being back.
Yes.
Right? This will be huge.
Yeah.
So the agents have got to go to the guys and say, just don't go out. Stay in the damn hotel. A couple of months of your life, you'll be okay.
Well, there were one or two players that stepped out of the bubble for food issues because they were trying to get food. But they're building a barber shop inside the bubble for these guys. Okay. That was on Facebook earlier. They're building a barbershop for these guys to go to. Okay. They're trying to get every convenience possible inside the bubble so these guys don't have to go out and try and get stuff. You know what I'm saying? And if they get caught leaving the bubble during the season, they get fined. And they lose games. They get fined. So, yeah, there's some pretty strict rules at Disney as far as players are concerned. There's not much they can do.
Sounds a bit draconian.
Yes. Well, and then there's Major League Baseball players that have opted out, Ron, as well as NHL players that have opted out. I would expect to hear possibly some NFL players, if things don't start changing, opting out of the season as well. But then again, they won't get paid because they opt out. So, and that might be in violation of their contracts too. But still, it's going to be.
Heard today that Red Sox lost a pitcher today. Colin McHugh says he's not going to report. So
yeah, well, there's a lot of players. I mean, they're still waiting for waiting for what's his face from the Angels to make a decision if he's going to play. But it looks like he's staying inside. So it's possible.
Mike Trout.
Yeah, Mike Trout. Yeah, so
if Mike Trout does not play, then
that's the biggest name in baseball right now. He's the biggest name in baseball right now too. So
exactly.
So
that might scare some people away, man. Yeah,
we are in uncharted territory, guys, as far as sports are concerned.
Yep.
We thought maybe we'd be through the worst of it after leaving July into August, and it's not going to. The worst of it is just now starting. So. It's going to be interesting to see how the NFL, if they come to their senses and what's going on. So it's, I'm hopeful for NFL football, but I'm not optimistic. If that makes any sense. Katie.
Hey, in the chat, I just put a link in to show that Clint Frazier is a man of his word.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yes, I saw that too. He played.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah. He played with a mask on the whole game. Yes.
The whole game.
Yep.
Even in the dugout and no matter where he went, he said he wore his mask. That's cool.
Yep.
I like dudes that keep their word. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Brett. We don't care if David Price plays. I don't care if Price plays. I mean, he's with the Dodgers now anyway, but still.
Yep. Yesterday.
Kipnis gets his first stinger with Wrigley as a Cub. Good for him. Trader.
Who did?
Kipnis.
Oh.
Trader.
Trees in the bounds.
Yes. Oh, what else you got, Elliot? Anything?
Just trying to hunt stuff down.
Yep.
What do we got? 9 minutes?
Hunting.
Bengals fan. I'm assuming you're talking about the Bengals. Well, coming from Northeast Ohio, I would never be a Bengals fan from coming from Northeast Ohio, so it's not a possibility. I've been a Browns fan for 50 years, and I'm not going to change now.
I can see that, and you know what? I'm a diehard Yankees fan to the death. But if the Mets were doing something, I'd root for them.
Right. I wouldn't root for
You know
the
what I'm
Bengals.
saying?
I wouldn't root for the Bengals.
Only
No, I
because
did back in '88 against the Niners. I was tired of seeing San Francisco win all the time, and I like Boomer. But after that,
that's how deep
Yeah.
New York commitment goes.
Right.
And the thing is that they're both playing in the same
Brown's
city.
biggest rival, Scott.
Your teams are playing in
Steelers are the
separate
Bengals.
cities.
Yeah, the Bengals aren't our biggest rival, Ken. You're right. It's the Steelers, and the Ravens are there because of who the Ravens are to begin with.
Right.
But the hatred for Cincinnati. I mean, it's there, but it's not as deep as it runs for Pittsburgh and Baltimore. It's not as deep.
Yeah. The Ravens, previously known as the Browns.
You ever heard about the first game between the Browns and the Bengals in 1970?
No, but I know Paul Brown. I don't know if the Bengals won or not, but
It was a bench clearing brawl.
oh yeah, well, it's because Paul Brown started the Bengals just like he started the Browns. So and he was the first head coach of the Bengals too. So,
That's right.
The biggest thing that I remember about the Browns and the Bengals rivalry is Sam. What's his face? Not Sam Rutigliano, but he was the head coach Sam White of the Bengals.
Sam White
Actually opening up and going over the loudspeaker to tell fans to stop throwing shit on the field because you're in Cincinnati, you're not in Cleveland. That was the big thing I bet.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's when the dog biscuits first became popular. We're throwing biscuits at the other players. But yeah, that Sam White, that's a classic. That's a classic cut from him back in the day. You're not in Cleveland, you're in Cincinnati. So if you see him, get him thrown out.
Hey, here's one for John.
I coached both your teams. Coached both the Browns and he was the Bengals and then the Tampa Bay also.
Yeah, he was shortly here with Tampa Bay. Yeah, shortly.
Yeah.
Here's a quick one for John. Joe Carter on this day in 1989 hit his fourth three home run game of the season.
When I used to play Little League and stuff like that, my number was 29. I put 29 on all my bats.
Right.
Joe Carter was my favorite, Jay.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah. Joltin' Joe, man.
He has the most famous home run in Blue
Dude,
Jays.
but he has also the most famous leap in Jays history, too, because that's when Timlin threw him the ball in Atlanta, and they won in 92, and he grabbed it and started like that. Listen, the home run was just like – It's like the Kawhi Leonard shot. It's
yeah.
They just freeze up.
That home run was a frozen road.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's back when I was actually rooting for the Braves too, because the only games I can get was on TBS was the Braves. So
hey, put this one in your pocketbook. 1973, Willie Mays was named to the NL All-Star team for the 24th time.
So not Willie Mays Hayes.
No.
Okay, sorry.
Willie Mays. He tied Stan Musial. He tied Stan Musial at that point. 24 All-Star.
And Pedro Serrano's career went so well, he's now doing Allstate commercials. So you never know what's going on.
Oh my God, dude, for real.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
I like the new one in the restaurant. That
Yes.
was funny as fuck.
Yes.
Dude. And they picked the perfect
That'd be a
people.
perfect commercial. Is having him in a restaurant ordering food, and everybody keeps going, "Hey, it's the guy from Allstate and everything." And someone walked in right at the end, goes, "Pedro Serrano."
Hey, how about the one at the crash scene? Have you seen
Crash?
that one yet?
No.
The crash scene.
Oh,
in the
yes,
desert?
yes. The guy that flubs his lines. Yes, I saw that. Yes, yes.
Well, I kind of went.
Marbles. Marbles. Marbles, Katie. Katie brings it up. Marbles.
Yeah, that was the Chinese guy, right?
Yes, it was.
Japanese dude.
Japanese guy, yes. Marbles.
You need marbles.
Too funny. Too funny. Oh.
It's exciting.
Well, we got homework, guys, so we should have very good content for next week. I'm going to work on content in as well. I know Elliot will. So we'll have some content.
And once again, another week goes by where we don't get that one poll in for the greatest teams ever assembled.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So we'll get to it, I'm sure, at some point.
At some point. At some point. Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up, guys. Thanks everybody that showed up. We had a good, decent, we had 9 people come in tonight, so that's not too bad.
10. There was 10, man.
We were up at 10. We were up to 10. You were correct. So we're going to close it up for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. On behalf of Elliot, John, and Kenny, I am the Sports Nerds, and we are out. Elliot, hit the music.
All right. There you go.
Caught him off guard. Look out.
He wasn't
Well, there
ready.
you have it, Nerds Nation. Another Sunday episode of the Sports Nerd Show in the books, and we're actually still live to tell about it. Now, on behalf of our hosts, Scott, the Sports Nerd, right? John, Bob, and Ken, the 3 other lovable members of the Ramp Pack, and yes, me, Big E. The entire pack would once again like to thank you all for participating with us in the best 90 minutes of sports smack talk on the web today. So until next Sunday night, dear nation, we want to leave you with a quick PSA. Please stay safe. Please practice social distancing. And for fuck's sake, please wear a fucking mask. You just got hit with a pack rant from the Rant Pack. And with that, fellas, we are out.
I just saved them all 8